friends. Welcome to Shoes. I'm going to try to just talk about things that I think that you probably need or want to know, or just try to shine some light on the wonderful world that is shoes. Mainly athletic shoes, which is where my knowledge is. I did work in a running specialty store for 2 years, so I fit hundreds and hundreds of people and did gait analysis, very low-tech gait analysis, and we had many people come in with orthotics. So anything that I say is anecdotal from my experience there. Okay, let's talk shoes. So our lecture talks about neutral, stability, motion control shoes. Those are on a spectrum. Think of like a gradient or like a spectrum. Neutral is going to be for someone who doesn't pronate or supinate when they bend their knee, like in stance, or whenever they their ankles don't roll in, they don't roll out. They're neutral. Their knee stays over their toe. Great. The majority of the population pronates, so their ankle is rolling in when they're load bearing. No, let's go back. Hold on. I went too far. Back to neutral shoes. Neutral shoe. These are mine. They're a pair of Mizunos. They have a curved last. This last is not, I don't really know if you can tell. That curved last is not built up. So there is not really what you would call arch support in there. It's not, basically my body mechanics for the most part are such that my knee stays over the ankle as I'm going forward. So that's good for that. We're going to come back to that for our foot orthosis. My screen went off and I need to be able to see. Okay. So after neutral, you have stability shoes. But between neutral and stability, there's again a gradient. So there might be some shoes that are in between a neutral and a stability shoe that just have a little bit of support, but not a lot. So don't get wrapped up too much in that though. So this is a pair of Andy shoes. They are some sort of New Balance 940s. New Balance likes to use numbers. I don't know if you can tell how this is built up. The outside right here is a little, it's a little less curved. And then if you can see in here that this is built up more. This is going to be a little firmer than here and here. So what it's doing, it's providing that arch support through the medial aspect. And what it's basically doing is, like, so 80% of the population pronates, or overpronates, however you want to say it. And what this is doing is it's providing just a little bit of support or stability so that when the foot, I have to try to get my directions right, rolls in, it's going to like push it and keep the foot from overpronating. It will allow some pronation, 4 to 6 degrees at the ST joint. Yeah. And then I don't have any motion control shoes because we don't need them in the house, and why would I have them? And motion control shoes are, just imagine this, but this is built up even more. It has a wide base of support. This is really built up. So that's really for someone who has a lot of ankle instability that tends to roll inward. Like sometimes you see people are like, I need more stability, and they're wearing these Frankenstein shoes. You tend to see it with older folks, and because it also has a large base of support, you might see it someone who has balance issues because they want that greater base of support. And again, within all of them, like, it's a spectrum. You have your neutral, stability, motion control, and within in between those three categories, there's varying levels. Okay. So that's for athletic shoes. I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. Oh, let's go to supination. So for people who supinate or roll on the outside of their foot, there really aren't athletic shoes that are built for that. That's 10% of the population. No company is really going to work on that. Like in order to help with that, you would have to build up the lateral aspect. So they don't really do that. How they work with that is that it's this curved last. It's the not having anything here that kind of gravity pulls them into a regular or a neutral position. Let's go through the rest of these. Okay, so these are back to these real quick. So these are just normal traditional running shoes. They have about they're good for about 300 to 500 miles. So depending on how long your runs are, that will depend on how long they last. This is considered a low profile shoe. These shoes have a normal heel drop of about 8 to 10 millimeters. A low profile shoe is going to be about closer to like a 4 millimeter drop, so the heel's lower to the ground. These are going to be better for if you're doing like speed work. They'll be better for if you're doing like more cross training stuff. But they're also lighter, and that means they just don't have as much, they're just not going to hold up as long, so you're going to have to replace these more often. Just touch my screen here. Okay, these are my weightlifting shoes. These have a low heel drop. They're really light. They're not great for running. They're not really great for much except for maybe some cross-training, high-intensity workout. These I don't recommend those are specialty. Okay, we'll get into these in a little bit. I have to go plug my computer in. Hold on one second. Actually, that might be a good place to stop and move on to the next